Mother Funny Time with Andie and Angie.
2 cousins, 8 kids, 1 grandkid, 2 states.
And a whole lot of fun. Woo! Welcome back, Mother Funny Tribe. It's Angie
I'm going to
and
take a
Angie.
picture.
Yeah.
I am. No. It's like
I
this
did
like
not.
happier face. Like,
Yeah. It's whenever I see my grandson. It's Mother
that's
Funny.
what it is. Or light
Yes, Ripley.
is.
It's kids. I love them. I love my kids. It's Mother Funny with Andie and Angie, and we are on episode 2, part 2 of Take It Away. Of what,
Mornings
Angie?
in moms, or what moms go through in the mornings. Mornings, coffee, the busyness of the mornings. Because every day there's a morning, and every day you're getting
Every
up.
day, praise God, right? Am I right? There is morning.
Yes.
Yes, and last episode we just talked about the chaos of it all and wearing bras. Like we talked a little more about that than we probably should have. But we
No,
just talked about
it needed to happen.
how chaotic it can be, how rushed it can be, how much you have to do, like how much is at stake. I would say every morning it feels like so much is at stake for that day. And then today we're going to talk about tips or tricks. But before we get to tips or tricks,
We also discussed habits in the morning too.
oh yeah,
And your
the
morning
Angie.
habits. We discussed habits, which would also be routines, because moms have a lot of routines in the morning. Apparently, I have a lot of habits and routines in the morning.
She doesn't know about it.
I didn't know about it until this podcast. No, that's wrong. I didn't know about it until last podcast in the last episode.
See, she's tired. It's evening. She's tired.
And we all have evening routines and evening habits, but we're not talking about the evening. We're talking about the morning, because
morning.
moms go through so much in a very short amount of time. But when you think about all that a mom gets done, it's actually really impressive. It's almost like we're on fast forward. You know, like the
Yes.
busyness of it is almost like when you're watching something in fast forward, because you just go from here to there to there to there. And we're all doing all of these things half awake. We're all exhausted. I mean,
Yes.
we're not sleeping in. Everybody, for the most part, almost all moms are not getting up when their body wants them to get up. Like they're getting up because the
Yeah.
baby's crying. They're getting up because they have to nurse, they have to pump, the alarm clock's gone off. They have school that they have to get their kids to. Like we are being woken up. So we're already like functioning half awake, half asleep. And then it's like we've lived a whole day in just a few short minutes or hours, depending on when you get up. Because some moms do get up early. Like they want to get
Yeah.
up early to tackle the day. So like they want to have their time to like work out, read the Bible, journal, read a book. They want to have their moment first before their kids get up. So some moms get up extra early. Andie and I aren't fully like that. I
No.
was like that at one point. Back when Riley was like a year, I used to get up early and have a full workout before she woke up at 7:30. I used to do that. I applaud that person I used to be.
Well, and here's the thing for me is that working out always makes me need a nap.
Oh,
So it does, like I know a lot of people like I work out to get my my day going. My gay doing.
my gay day at Disneyland.
My gay
We'll cut it
um,
out, don't
cut it
worry.
out. My day going. But and Chris and I for a short period did that. We would like go swimming. We would swim in the morning before the kids were up, and I would come home exhausted. And even now, like if I get up early to run or to work out, I need a nap. And when my kids were in that age where they were past naps, that's not going to happen. Like I can't just work out and then get an afternoon nap. So, yeah. I don't know how
So,
moms do it, but there's something to do. They have that
yeah,
energy.
and we applaud you for doing that. So, all that to say, it's busy in the morning. There are so many things going on. Some moms, maybe they just need to sit there. Like they want to wake up and they just want to sit in the silence because they know after this,
It's
that's about to
over.
be chaotic and so loud. So they want to take a few
Yes.
moments to like sit in the silence or practice gratitude, right? Practicing
Mhm.
gratitude. We always talk about that. Some
Gratitude
moms might
helps.
like check emails, get ready, check
Yeah.
their calendar. I always check the calendar in the morning too. Like Am I missing anything? What did I do? I check the calendar multiple times throughout the day, but I do check the calendar in the morning too.
Well, you have a lot to keep track of.
Yes, as most moms do. It's true. But when you were homeschool
Mhm.
mom Andy, because not
Yes.
only are you like up and functioning and your kids are ready and they're going to start the day, but now you have to be like homeschool mom teaching Andy. Like, how
Yeah.
did you go from like, oh my goodness, go, go, go. You're drinking your coffee, your kids, they have their pencils and their notebooks and they're ready. And you also like, didn't you have kids all around too? Like you're watching other people's
Yeah,
kids.
when for a few years, I had 2 other kids who would come over at, like, 6:30 in the morning, and, yeah, we'd homeschool. I would say it wasn't as rushed because we didn't have to be anywhere, when they were younger. When they got older, they took classes, but, yeah, I would try to just keep it as calm as possible, like, I would let the kids just live their best lives for a while, like, just play, hang out, and then, um I would, yeah, gather everyone together, but whatever I could do to keep the atmosphere, like, as calm as possible for all of our sakes, I did. Like, candles. I love candles. I feel like candles put me in that, like, peaceful, relaxing mood, so I would have that out. Big breakfast actually works because, like, especially if they're gonna be home, because it, like, settles you down. So, when I was really doing well, I would make sure that there was a good breakfast. Um, Instead, like, cereal is really the easiest, or toast or whatever, but when I was really good at it, I would have, like, enough food set up so that they could eat, feel full, and then settled. Um, yeah, I just try to keep everything as mellow as possible.
That is amazing. And I think that's what moms really need to not need to, but I think it's good to have that goal of like,
Yeah.
okay, we're going to try to keep things relaxed, calm, peaceful. Have you heard of this term morning trauma? It's now
No.
becoming a thing. Not I'm not bringing it down, but of like people
Okay,
processing through
sure.
their craziness that they experienced in the morning and how people
Tell
have to
me.
like work through that now as adults as they look back at their childhood and think about everything that they went through or like if the parents were yelling or rushing or they got in trouble or whatever that was. And the issue is that they maybe like would experience trauma in the morning and then all of a sudden you're at school and now you have to like
Yes.
quickly adjust so their brains and their bodies didn't have a chance to like process what they had just experienced. And now they're at school and they have to learn and behave and follow directions and interact with their peers and be on someone else's schedule. And so they fully didn't get to process that whole thing. And then all of a sudden they're adults and they're going back and dealing with it, which is super healthy. And it's amazing. I never heard that
Yeah.
term before. It was something I recently came across. Not bringing it down, just being aware parents in the
No, but
morning.
this is helpful. It is helpful because you're right, like, and what I was hoping to kinda bring out at the beginning was how the morning routine affects the rest of the day. Like, when you'd asked me, like, how I manage the stress and how I was like, "But you can't prepare because you think you're gonna have, like, a peaceful morning and then something crazy happens." But if you're freaking out before you have to go somewhere and then your kid's sitting in class, well, they're still, like, feeling the stings of that morning, and they're maybe frustrated, or and they don't even know why. They could be upset, or, like, their bodies didn't get to quite calm down, and they're just right into the routine of things, and then they're dealing with all the stresses of school and teachers and whatever else might be
And
going on.
taking tests. Like, maybe they're
Yeah.
already stressed out that morning, and then they've now been yelled at or forced out the door faster or rushed, and then they're, like, stressed because of this test, and now all of a sudden they're taking a test, and it's like, "Whoa, they didn't get to process everything or be calm, and now they're in a test," and, like, how are they supposed to perform and do their absolute best on this test if they're in a state of stress?
So here's my question for you. We need tips and tricks. I
You
have
had 3 kids that are grown, and you're giving the
yeah,
tips
but
and
there
tricks. What
you have
understand?
5 between preschool.
I don't even have a morning habit. I cannot talk about this.
You it's funny, my daughter, we're talking about her birthday, and she reminded me of, like, what I'm like, "What did we do on your 19th birthday?" And she told me, and I'm like, and I was there, and I'm like, "I don't remember." 8 years ago. I'm like, "I should remember 8 years ago." My memory is shot these days, so I don't remember a lot of what it was like for my kids in the morning, but what I do deal with now as a mom is that I have very unhurried, slow, patient people leaving the house. No matter if you're in a rush or not. We could be late and it's like, "Put on your shoes," and they're like, "I am," and it's like this slow, like, slowly slipping the shoe in, pulling it up, slowly I know, I feel like you're getting uncomfortable with me just saying this, slowly tying the laces, and we're like 10 minutes late, and I'm all, "Get your shoes on." I am getting my shoes on. "Faster." I'm going as fast as I can, and I'm like, but are you?" And there's several personalities in my house with that slow, patient movement. I am not built that way. How do you deal with that? Do you have any of those? How do you deal with it?
That's amazing. I was gonna say bravo that they're so calm and relaxed and like, "Okay, we're gonna get through the day." I was
Until I
picturing a
stress them
sloth.
out. So I'm like, "Get in the car."
Let's go. But they're
We're late.
calm. Would you rather have a child who's calm and peaceful and be 5 minutes late, or a child who's crying because 'cause they're stressed out and they were rushed? I
But
would
are
go
they
with
on time?
but
I'm
they're on
just kidding.
time. Right, exactly. I don't know.
But what to say this let's just hypothetically, this has been going on for 27 years. Hypothetically. You have very slow, ha patient people who take a long time, and then, like, you're like, "Okay, we're going out the door. Oh, wait, I forgot this," and then they get in, "Oh, I forgot this again," and it doesn't matter how old they are, they've forgotten half the things, and then we get in the car, and they're like, "Oh, wait, one more thing," and then by then, I've forgotten something because I was so concerned about them that I'm like, "I didn't have my own act together."
We went somewhere and I didn't have a water bottle. And I was
Yes!
like, of course I don't. Of course I don't have a
Everybody
water
has their
bottle.
water bottle.
Everyone's fully hydrated. Even my 4-year old, he's ready to go. And I didn't have a water bottle. And you're not encouraging moms at all by telling us
I
that
know that it doesn't get better.
we're going to
Um,
struggle with this the rest of our life. Hey,
so
but
how do you do it?
your kids can tie their shoes. So that's
Yeah.
impressive because when you're the mom trying to tie the shoes,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that's even one more step and one more thing of, like, "Oh my goodness, that's one more thing mom has to do is tie the shoes."
I stopped, like, for a long period, like, I did not like buying shoes you had to tie, and when my kids got older, and obviously they're, like, teenagers, can tie their own shoes, but high tops were in, and I'm like, "Oh, no, high tops take forever to put on," and I'd be like, "Please don't wear your high tops. It's a 20-minute process before we can get out the door." And nobody puts on their shoes until, like, I'm in the car, and they're like, "I gotta put my shoes on." Why? It's the shoes.
We
Okay.
we were on a road trip, and we were going from Texas to California, and we had gone for, like, a long time. So we're in our big SUV, and we're at a park because 'cause we're gonna let the kids go run around the park because 'cause they've been sitting for so long. And so, like, the kids are getting out of our big SUV, and all of a sudden, Brooke goes to get out of the SUV, and she fell over like a tree.
Oh, no.
She, like, hit her rib on the curb. I felt really bad. It was a bad fall. She just fell over. And we're like, "What just happened?" She had gotten bored on the car ride, and she was wearing Converse, and she sat there and tied her shoelaces
Oh,
together.
no.
So she tried to get out of the car, and her
I
feet were stuck
forgot.
together.
Oh, no.
No child was harmed in this story. She was fine, but it was the most random thing to watch your child
Just topple
just
over.
totally, like, fell out of the car. It was so funny. It is. It is the shoes, and I think like we mentioned before, like, having the outfits all prepared the night before with socks, with shoes, with accessories, like, every piece of, clothing that they're going to wear, having that completely ready and set out is a
The night
huge
before.
help the night before. because you can't do it day up because it also has to be approved by the mom. Especially as kids start to get older and maybe they're kind of coming up with their own style, but also maybe pushing some limits to be like, no.
So you do that for your high schooler. Does she put all her stuff out the night before?
Riley puts out all her stuff the night before. It's yes, I do check it. I mean, I don't necessarily say like those colors don't go together. I'm not, it's not like I'm
No, but
checking
it,
that.
I'm thinking though, I am thinking that that's still even older kids, that's smart because you're kind of teaching them like tools for success because even as an adult, like if I have to be somewhere early in the morning, I have my clothes out the night before. Like there's something so empowering about having one less decision to make in the morning. You know what I mean?
That's exactly it. And also, like, Riley is a cheerleader, so she has to have her bag, her cheer bag, either fully packed or like her uniform, because sometimes she goes from school straight to the game. So, like, making sure her uniform is even out and ready. Or like Tegan goes to dance class pretty much right after school. So she has to have her whole dance bag fully prepared. Like anything they're going to need the next day is out and ready. And either it's packed in the bag it needs to be in, or like their outfits are out and ready. And it helps as moms too, because you don't want to be sending your kid back and forth to the rooms. Like, nope, that shirt is too short. Nope, that
Mm,
doesn't fit you anymore. Like, that takes so much time. And so just
yeah.
to have everything kind of done, and it gives you a longer conversation too. If the outfit's not going to work out, like, why? Instead of just saying, like, "Hi, we're rushed, go change your shirt." It's like, well, no,
Oh,
this one
yeah.
doesn't work because of this, and that. Or, hey, let me have that. That shirt's too short. We need to donate it now. So it kind of gives you that extra time or like, wow, that sweatshirt is super stained. Like we've got that one needs to go. So that part has totally made a difference. I think the biggest thing for moms is having realistic expectations and also giving yourself 10 extra minutes. Like I had to start waking up 10 extra minutes early. I had to start waking up 10 minutes earlier in order to be
Okay.
able to handle the day. Like I knew I could handle it within a certain amount of time, but just by giving myself those extra 10 minutes, and during that time, that's when I wake up, I relax, I like sit down, I pray, I take a second, and then I start the day. But I had to realize, like, in order for me to realistically be calm and happy and enjoy the morning with my kids, because I'm not going to see them. I mean, sometimes you don't see them for hours and hours. If they go to school and then sports, it's like, this is my only time to see you for a long time. So you want to have that environment that is calm and loving and nurturing. So, like, but also have those realistic expectations. Like, yes, it could be rushed and you can sleep in for 20 extra minutes or take a second and maybe get up earlier, but also know that, like, it's gonna be chaos, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. And I sing my kids a song every morning that's super annoying, so
Do
when they don't
you?
wanna get up, I start singing the song and they get out of bed.
Amazing. So you
'Cause
have another habit.
dude, I totally could have said I
I'm
sing
gonna
my
just keep
kids
talking about
a song.
all your habits. Okay, so then
Yes,
what
and they
about
don't have a
feeding?
bedtime song. I have so many habits.
You have so many.
I
You
did
were obviously tired.
I could have been I'm the mom who sings to her children. I could have been that mom. I sing to my children in the morning. I sing them a bedtime song. I could have been that amazing mom, and
See,
I
those
had
other
nothing.
moms, you could have been like, "Haha, suckers.
Do you
Let
have a
me one
morning
up
song for your
you."
kids? Yeah, and the morning song literally happened because they didn't want to get out of bed. So I started singing the super song loud, clapping, and it's annoying and it gets them out. They
Is
like
it the
jump
rise
out.
and shine? I used to do that. I used to go, "Rise and shine and give God the
The
glory,
glory, glory,
glory,
rise and
rise and
shine.
shine." And I
Give
would
God
do that till
the
they got
glory,
up.
rise and shine. No.
But my kids didn't always, usually it was me getting woken up, like, "Mom, mom,"
Oh,
or
because
I'd hear them
when
playing.
they were
Yeah, I did
older.
not get up early, but we also weren't rushed in the morning because homeschool, but
That's
yeah.
one reason to
So, okay,
homeschool
so
right
how do
there.
you feed 5 children in the mornings before a busy day of school? I wanna hear this.
Well, I make them all so, okay, so I realized I like to have time to get a bunch of stuff done before my kids are awake, but also there's not enough time for me to get up at the same time as my kids. I can't get everything done. So I
Mhm.
get up earlier, I make them their vitamin drinks, and then I make them a protein shake every single day,
And
5
that's
days a
their
week.
breakfast.
That's their breakfast. Yeah. If they wanna add a piece of toast, they can, but this protein shake, like, there's so many nutrients to it, and they're not hungry after they have this protein shake. So that way, if they're going slow, because some kids are just tired in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Like they're also tired. So they're moving slower. So it's easy because they can just like quickly just chug the shake. They're not like, oh, let me sit and eat my pancakes. I'm going to take a while to eat my pancakes. Like, we don't
Okay, can
have time.
Can
No
we
have
talk
time.
about how, like, every TV show and movie out there, they show families in the morning sitting around a table with fully cooked breakfast foods, like
Yes.
scrambled eggs and pancakes and bacons every morning, and they're like and the husband's like, "Sorry, babe, gotta go. Kiss goodbye," and the kids are, like, grabbing one piece of toast from the table even though there's, like, a banquet there, and everyone's just, like, eating, and I'm like, "First of all, it's sunny outside. There's no way there's no way this could all be done and it be sunny outside. Like
True.
school, you start getting ready for school, it's generally dark.
In the dark. Yeah. No,
Yes,
it's dark
it's
for
dark
sure.
outside. Secondly, how much food is being wasted every day because these kids are eating a piece of toast and there's all this, but it sets such unrealistic expectations. I remember being like, "Man, I should have a lot more hot meals ready in the morning." Like, that was always my I would love to have that, and sometimes I would kind of do something like that because I had more time, but there's no way if I had to have a kid at school and we had to be at the door at 7:15 AM, the sun's barely up, like, that it's a lot, so a protein
Think of
shake
I Love Lucy. How many amazing meals was she cooking for her and Ricky? It was impressive. Eggs,
and
toast,
they didn't even have
coffee.
microwaves.
Ethel was there. Fred was coming over. The milk was getting delivered.
The
Like,
sun was out. All those shows in the morning, the sun's out, I'm like, "Such a lie."
allegedly, there's influencers now who are showing us their amazing breakfasts they make every
They
day.
do. Well, no, this is what they do because I've watched some of this mom influencing, and I'm guessing your group watches them too. I just watch them like it's
My group.
entertainment because I have
Well,
yeah, your group, your parenting class group. So, they, like, get up at, like, 4:30 in the morning, they make, like, their special drink, they make their iced coffee, they make their protein shake, they go for a 6-mile run, they take a shower, they do their morning skincare routine, and then they slowly wake up their baby, and then they give their baby their food and all that stuff, and then they get ready to take their kid to class and work, and I'm like, "That's exhausting. How do you do it?" Like, good on ya. But I cannot put that kind of pressure on me like that. If I had that kind of pressure as a young mom, I would've gone crazy. I mean, it's good to have tips or tricks. It's good to be like, "Hey, 10 minutes earlier, just get up 10 minutes earlier." And maybe that means you go to bed 10 minutes earlier, and that could be really hard, and you're not gonna always do it, but it's okay. Mm.
That's such a good point. Is if your mornings are looking too stressed or you don't like who you are as as a mom in the morning, if you're like, I don't like who I'm becoming in the morning, or I'm not the mom I want to be, it is good to spend time actually thinking about it and analyzing it and figuring out changes that need to be made instead of just saying like, well, this is the new normal or this is how it's going to be for this season of our lives or just kind of accepting it like or some people might have to do that based on necessity. I mean, when you're nursing
Yeah.
twins, like it's just busy. You're not sleeping. It's a lot. There are seasons that are busier than other seasons. But if you know, hey, I could make a few changes and things would be a lot more peaceful or a lot more relaxed, or my kids might be happier if I do these certain things. Like it is good to spend that time just analyzing it. So that would be at night, though. Don't analyze it in the middle of the morning.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to
And
with a list. So start making a list of everything that has gone wrong and needs
well,
to
making
change.
a list at night for the morning, but we're not talking about nights. But yeah, I think waking up, having that time to just be for a minute, to let your mind like settle. Um, it doesn't have to be a really long time. I think the problem is we put too much pressure for people to do too much. And that can backfire on you because if you feel like you can't do it all, you won't do it at all. You know what I mean? It's like all or
Ah,
nothing. which
Oh,
I feel like I can be that way, but I've seen other moms too. They're like, they start a routine and then it's like too big, it's too much. And then after a week, they're like, I can't keep this up and they give up. Well, just make a little something and light a candle. I'm telling you, candles, especially if you get like a calming scent, a nice candle, especially in the fall, winter, your kids wake up, it's just like this calming I mean, you're a firefighter's daughter, so keep your candle, like, on your stove top and make sure you blow it out.
a candle? What's a candle? I've never heard of this
We're
before.
You mean those electric things? They don't smell good.
Or just get them plugins. You guys just get the like, like them plug-in, like,
Does it
room
look like a
scent things.
candle?
No, it does not, but it still
Candles
smells
are
good.
amazing, be free.
Be free.
Don't listen, Uncle Dean.
Okay, so that's something I that's from my trauma I need to let go of as a child.
Yes, you can burn candles
You say
safely, there
candle, I
is a
start to
way.
panic. Oh, the candle.
You can't. Do you unplug everything when
Dude,
it's not in use?
100% of the time. I cannot tell you the amount of times we have left and we've had to make a U-turn and go back because 'cause I'm like, "The curling iron is still plugged in." Like, I have a huge fear that I have left a curling iron plugged in, which, by the way, has an automatic shut off in an
I know,
hour.
it's like now today, they all have automatic
They all do.
shutoffs.
It is I the There are so many times we are late because I'm literally walking around the house unplugging everything and then going back to check to make sure. We're like, "No, my kids."
See, that's a mom's routine.
But my kids are even trained now because 'cause they'll be like, "Make sure you unplug the curling iron." Like, I'm like, that fear, I know I am knowingly instilling it in my children, and it's not a generational thing I wanna instill. It's just happening. That's their childhood trauma. My childhood trauma is coming out on them, and it's
But
causing
you
their
know
childhood
how
trauma.
many people, like, the first thing I'm thinking about when I leave is everything off? Is there anything plugged in? And I didn't even have, like, as strict of a fire safety growing up. But, like, I legit have a smart cooktop that I have checked many a time when I've left my house that you could see all it can tell you is if there's a burner on. Like, that's
Really?
all it does, and I'm
You're
like, "That's
so
brilliant."
fancy.
And then my oven used to do that, and now it's disconnected and I can't reconnect it, but I think anything that you can plug in, you should be able to connect to an app at this point as a mom who's trying to get out in the morning. So you could be like, "Curling iron, is it on?" And, like, they might
Yes.
you know what you want? You want an alert the minute you leave your house, all of your things to be like, "We are all off. Please go in peace. Do not come back to your house."
100%. Because
Because how many times has it actually still been on?
not many, if any, like, rarely. It's embarrassing though, because then when I go and I stay with other people, before if we're all leaving, like, the whole group of us is leaving, I start unplugging their stuff. And it's embarrassing. Like, it's so embarrassing.
They're like, "That's like my life-saving medicine, Angie. Can you please plug that back in?"
No, we
You're
don't
all,
need
"No, it's a
that.
fire hazard."
No, it's a thing, and I'll be like, "I'm so sorry," and people just know, like, I'm gonna walk around just unplugging everything before we leave. So we are late. So actually, now that we're talking about this, I need to spend 5 extra minutes. Like, when I'm
Yes.
planning my morning.
I think every mom, because we all go through this, every mom's part of her routine should just be walking around and saying to yourself, "Everything is off." Because we'll, like our brains are going so fast and we're trying to get everything done, even though we'll check something, we might check it twice and still be like, "Did I check that? I can't remember, did I?" And then you're like, "Oh, yeah, I did check it twice." Maybe video in the morning, like all of your electronics.
That's actually a great idea. Do you know what else moms do in the morning? Change the
What?
laundry. Either we are putting a load
Yes.
in the washing machine or it's in the washer the dryer.
The worst is when you're putting one in, because 'cause I've done that several times, and then I forget about it until late at night. I'm all, "Huh, let's hope that's not stinky." Yes.
See, this is good to talk about. I think something that would help, which I'm gonna start doing, is music in the morning. Like, we have music in the evening,
Mm,
but maybe playing music in the morning. Just to kind of
yes.
set the tone, like worship music in the morning. Just
Worship music and a candle.
there
Think of
you
how
go.
peaceful that would be in the morning. You can put it on, like put it in a wet bowl, your candles. like full of water so that it like has no weight.
Okay. Okay.
Whatever brings you that calm. It's amazing.
You're not afraid someone's gonna knock it over? With all the backpacks and the bags, the lunches and the
Okay, but
water
like if you're
bottles, like,
you're
it's
we're
all right on that kitchen counter area right before school.
but we're not talking about like a big candlestick. We're talking about like a Bath and Body Works candle. The wicks are barely sticking above the wax as it is, so keeping it burning is a big deal, but then if it falls over, the wax is just gonna put it out anyway.
Bath and Body Works has candles? What? I'm just kidding.
What are these? You light them on fire?
Since when? When did this
See, even if
happen?
you had, like, a plug-in, you'd be unplugging it.
I would. No, that
What
would.
if you forget?
I
Yeah.
have so much anxiety. Can we talk about something else right now? I'm, like, stressed out. Candles, plugging in stuff.
And leaving the house.
Sometimes I'm like, "Did I unplug? Did I unplug the iron? Dude, I haven't ironed clothes in, like, 10 years." And I'm just like wondering about an iron.
Did somebody accidentally plug in an iron when I wasn't looking? You're, like, scouring all the floors in your house.
I don't even know where an iron is. That's how long it's been since I've used one. And
And
there are
it has an
moments.
automatic shut off, so it's
Yes!
okay.
And there's moments I'm still worried about the iron. See, this is that morning trauma. We're trying to make sure our kids don't
Yes.
have morning trauma. It's a thing. That's all this is. This podcast is just us working through our issues.
Our trauma. We hope you all enjoy the entertainment.
Yes. So, moms, we want you to know it's okay if you're checking that curling iron 3 times. It's okay if you want to light a candle or not. And it's okay if you're rushed.
Just blow it out. Just blow it out before you leave. And if you're scared, you're not going to,
Maybe that could
make it a
be like
habit.
a kid's chore in
Yeah.
the morning. Like, okay, before we leave.
Maybe a live feed, like a baby monitor on that candle so that you can check it when you're leaving the house.
Okay, I agree with that, and I also need to make sure my dad has access to that live feed.
Dad, can you watch my candle for me? Just make sure we blow it out every morning.
Because this issue is because of you.
Your dad would for sure drive the whole like 40 minutes to your house to make sure everything's unplugged.
Oh,
This is your fault, Dad.
if you are the wife of a first responder or a child of a first responder, we hope you feel seen and heard.
You're seen and heard. If you're the wife of like somebody a wife or child of somebody who is in the police department, you probably have 30 locks on all your doors. Probably sleep with a machete. Just kidding. I've heard stories.
Their alarm system's legit, is what that
Yeah,
is.
that's right. They know how to protect. Okay. We have to end this episode. We're sorry to say. But we hope you feel
You're all
ready.
calm.
I
I'm
am
like all
calm.
stressed out right now, and you're like so calm.
Fire plugged in, irons, ironing in the morning. Everybody should iron in the morning and light a candle in the middle of their floor.
I hope you guys have a great day.
All right, everyone, like us, share us, find us on YouTube. Tell them we're Angie.
At Mother Jenny Podcast with Andie and Angie. We do hope you guys have a great day and that your morning is calm and filled with love,
And we hope
joy,
that we're part of your
happiness.
habit.
Yes,
Make us part of your habit, and then it'll remind you to unplug your irons.
that's right. We're just helping everybody in so many ways. It's
So
incredible.
the professionals are here for you.
That's right. That's right.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, that's all we have time for today. We got to wrap it up, unfortunately. But just remember, you might think you're doing just okay, but we think you're doing really great.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. We hope you have a great Mother Funny day. Please like and share our podcast.
But please don't tell our moms.